You are about to witness the very exciting story of a city and its people.
Welcome to motherfucking Detroit.
What up, though? What up, though? This is Detroit Bell with another no name podcast. Well, as you can see, a victory for the Detroit Lions. But if you have not done it, please go down to our YouTube page or channel and click on the like button. Bing! Click on the notification button. Bing, bang! And click on the subscribe button if you have not subscribed. And you will get all the videos that we upload, especially when we go live on Mondays and Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This allows you to see other sports that we are talking about, NBA, MLB, underwater basket weaving, all that good stuff. We talk about different sports. Also, my partner Wildcard Mar, he does a Chiefs page called Wildcard Chiefs, and you can go over there. He does everything Chiefs, and big homie Nick Shine also does Proud Jet fan, and you can get anything related to those New York Jets. Oh, and if you have not done, also join our Facebook group. This allows you to upload a funny meme if you like, something that you like to talk about and you want to get off your chest. Is there for you. If you just want to go down and scroll and see all the funny things that have already been uploaded, surveys that we do, questions that we asked, different things like that. And if you have something that you're selling or you have a podcast, anything like that, you are welcome to promote it on the Facebook group or Facebook page, whatever you want to call it. It is there for you to do that, because in the name is networking, and that what it's for is for people who wants to network or just want to sit back and enjoy some sports, chop it up about sports and things like that nature. Now we got all those things out of the way. Let's talk about the Detroit Lions and the Jacksonville Jaguars and my immediate reaction to the game. Detroit played another good game. They played another complete game. We can nitpick on some few things, some stall drives and stuff like that. But overall, it's a great game. When you put up 40, that's a good game. So, I think a lot of times when you see some of the criticism that this team gets, whether good or bad, you forget that this is the NFL. A lot of good teams drop passes. A lot of good teams fumble. A lot of good teams makes mistakes or have stalled drives. The thing that separates good teams from the bad team is the ability to overcome those things. And I think today, they overcame some things like, a couple of runs by Trevor Lawrence, a couple of runs by ETN, um, things here and there. James Houston played a great game. John Kaminsky he knocked down a pass. Kaminsky did pretty good. I just think overall the defense played decent, played a pretty good game. It's a complete win on both sides of the ball, and no complaints here. And you look at the remaining schedule, they have the ability really to win all the games. I don't see a team they can't beat. But for sake of, this is the NFL and it's any given Sunday, they should win at least 4 out of the next 6, 5 out of the next 6. 1 or 2 games they may lose, but they should win majority of these games. I'll say it that way. I can't recall this. I think it's 6 games left. But anyway, they should win the majority of these games if you look at the schedule. I mean, the Vikings may be a tough game, but they played them tough early in the season, so it's not to say they can't beat the Vikings. They already beat Green Bay. Should be able to beat them again. But that could be a game. I think this one gotta be. I think it's in Lambeau because they played in Detroit. The first game. So you going on the road. So that's a toss up sometimes. Same with Chicago. I think they going to Chicago. Should be able to beat them. I'm not saying they can't beat them, but I'm saying that's one of those two games that they may lose because of the fact they playing away. Carolina should be a win. I think I think Jacksonville is better than Carolina. I mean, if you look at the overall talent, especially in the quarterback play, I think Trevor Lawrence is a way better quarterback than Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. I know he's not playing, but if you want to add them all together, I think Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback than that. I think now they got rid of McCaffrey. I think Jacksonville's running game is better. And I mean, you can't really compare. I know you can't really compare like if a team beats this team, I mean they could be another team because sometimes it's just about matchup, the way teams match up against each other. However, I still think that the Lions can beat Carolina based on the way they played against Jacksonville. The Jets. Only thing I'm worried about is that Jets defense can our line hold up against that rush, and can we move the ball on that defense? They got a pretty good defense, no matter what you will say about New York Jets. They got a great defense. I mean, and got some weapons on offense. It's the quarterback play that we kind of like, is up and down. But I think that they win that game and they beat who else they played? I think that's the only really tough game I see. Maybe that and the Vikings, the Jets and the Vikings. And I mean tough as in compared to the teams that they playing. I think that those are the two games that might be an iffy. It's the Jets and the Vikings. Outside of that, they should be able to beat the rest of the teams. But I mean, I know I'm saying like I'm talking in circles, but I'm just thinking about the schedule. I'm thinking about the teams they playing, and I'm thinking about how they play as how the Detroit Lions play as a team. And then the fact is this is the NFL, and Houston can beat somebody any given Sunday. They haven't showed that they can this year, but they usually can beat somebody, because of any given Sunday. So I just think that Detroit has a great opportunity here to go on a nice run to end the season. Now, I know everybody want to talk about
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
However, they make the playoffs fine. That's fine. If they don't, that's fine. Because I know I said in a previous video, my expectations is not about this season and last season. My expectations is what they do with the 3-year timeline, of building. So I think that if you look at them as a rebuild or as a rebuilding team, I think that third year should be your litmus test. That third year should be where you look and see, okay, are we a better team where we started from year 1 to year 3? Year 3 should be a playoff seeking year. If we get in this year, hey, we achieved far better than I thought we would achieve, early. Let me say we achieved earlier than I think we are. I think I said that right. But I think that, I look at it as a 3-year timeline. So if they win 6-7 games this year, they more than double what they did last year. So that's an improvement. If they get to the playoffs, they more than meet the expectation that I have for them for 2 years. So anywhere it goes, right now they're on a course of being better than they were last year. So I think as a fan first, I think that this is something we can look at and say, okay, they might be on the right path. As someone who's just a commentator or content creator, I look at it as if I'm just looking at them as a team and outside and not as a fan, you gotta like what you see. The first half of the season was real rough, real rough. They had to go through some adjustment periods. You had to go through moving some things around. The defense looked horrible. Now it seemed like they kind of gelling together. Now I want to see next year. First of all, who they pick in the draft. They make any moves in free agency, and then I want to see, do they start off the same way? You know, next year they did the previous years. So what I mean is, you know, don't use losing as your motivation. Come out the gate winning. And that let me know what kind of team we have. If they start off the same way next year, I already know what kind of team we have. They need something to, what's that? They need something to motivate them, or they need something to push them to reach potential. That's what I don't want to see. I don't want to see them as a team be like, oh, we lost 4 games. We ain't the same old Lions. Let's go out here and win, prove that we not. No, I want to see that on third year. I want to see them come out the gate winning. Of course, we got to see who they match up with, but it doesn't matter to me. Outside of Kansas City, Buffalo, maybe. I'm trying to take any other elite teams. Those are 2 elite teams. I don't see nobody they shouldn't be able to match up with based on what I've seen this year and what they have potential to be. They played the Eagles tough. I know playing tough don't mean a W, but they played the Eagles tough. Number 1 team in NFC. Played Buffalo tough. Number 1 team in the AFC East. So my thing is, you take that and build on it. Those 2 teams are elite teams. Well, Bills are elite team, and Eagles to me, I'm not ready to say the elite in the NFC. I don't know elite in the NFL yet. I'm not ready to say that yet. Great team, don't get me wrong. Great team. I'm not crapping on the Eagles, so I know Eagle fans don't be getting on my comments. I'm not crapping on the Eagles. I'm just not ready to say are they an elite team in the NFL yet. Elite in a division and elite in the NFC. I give them that. They look good. Well constructed team. Got a lot of players on defense. Jalen Hurts is balling. Some of my criticism of Jalen Hurts, he kind of actually did a little better than I thought he would. So, I'm not gonna crap on the Eagles, but my thing is I can't say they're elite yet. Any other team in the NFL, I can't say they're elite. I can't see the Lions not matching up well with them. Compared to what they have done now and what has the potential to do, they're gonna have at the least a 3rd round pick, probably a second. I'm predicting 2nd round. I mean, not 2nd round. 2nd pick in the 1st round, or at least the 3rd pick in the 1st round. I'm predicting at least that. The way the Rams is looking, without Matthew Stafford, either he out for the season, I think Cup out for the season. I don't think Wright is gonna win any games for them. They may win 1 more game, and that's it. That's it. They ain't winning no more games. So based on what Houston does, Houston win 4 games. Maybe the Lions could get the number 1 spot, but they ain't looking like Houston gonna do that. So they got number 2, maybe number 3 pick. You can get what's his name? Jalen, my man from Georgia. Will Anderson. Everybody want a quarterback. My thing is, I don't think it's time for a quarterback right now. I'm gonna tell you why I say that. And we might disagree with that. I've been on record saying I defended Goff when people said he was just crap. I don't think Goff is a crap quarterback. I don't think he's a good quarterback, but I don't think he's a crap. I think it's a difference between saying he's a crap quarterback and whether or not he's a good quarterback. There's 2 different things. To me, I think Goff fits in right now for what we have. Let me say that, for what we have. And I think getting a quarterback in the late rounds, like was it Michael Pence out of Penske? What's his name? My man out of Washington. Somebody like that you can work with, you can develop. Sit under Goff. You can probably give him in the later rounds. He can sit under Goff or sit and just learn what he can from the system, learn what he can from the game speed. A couple preseasons under his belt where he kind of see the speed of the NFL. Sit in the quarterback room, watch film, and just kind of just learn. And you got another year of that contract that golf have earned. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to pay as much out if you get rid of them. All those things that can happen needs to happen to me before you move off of golf. Because you don't want to have this momentum that you have, and then you got this rookie quarterback in there that's gonna take the offense down a little bit before it comes back up. You want somebody that has sat and learned for a couple years, now they can jump in and have a few steps back, but kind of pick up because he's been in the system for a while, he's learned for a while. So I think if you build that defense up first, get some linebackers in there, dominant pass rusher. Will Anderson. I don't know why I can't think of my man Georgia name. Jalen. I can remember Jalen if I can't remember his last name. A man from Georgia. You can maybe get one of those two with a third or second pick, especially with second pick. Because if Houston goes quarterback, you got a choice of either or. If Houston goes Will Anderson, you got a choice of Jalen. So anywhere it goes, you'll get one of those two. Now you'll have an elite player right there. Plug him in with Hutch, and hopefully Pascal develops and come back. And you way James Houston's playing, you have enough defensive. You have enough in the front on that front four that you can rotate in and out. That you can actually use a few of them to move to make a deal for some veteran players. Look at all those defensive ends that the Lions have. I mean, you look at Charles Harris. You're looking at Bryant. I mean, we can go down the line. Romeo Cora. There's a lot of people you can move off of, especially if you draft one next year. There's a lot of you can move off of, save you some money, and get you either some picks or some veterans. Boom. Now you building something. You need somebody, an elite linebacker on this team, and another corner. You get another corner, and hopefully that Kirby Joseph continues to develop. Tracy Walker comes back. That's nice veteran presence that kind of work with the rookie, with the name with rookies now. Well, rookies and the second year players. You got a Cuda playing pretty well. You got Rodrigo. So you got pieces. You start adding to the pieces and bringing a veteran here and there. I think that defense will be tough. That defense will be tough. I'm telling you. If you draft right and get some veterans in there, and then in the late rounds, draft you an offensive guard, offensive tackle, for backups. Because you see how injury happens, and you had to plug people here and there. So you need to start looking at Decker's getting old. And you start looking for a replacement. Decker's getting old. So things like that you gotta start looking at. What you gonna do with Big V next year? Are you gonna go ahead and move off of Big V? You need somebody that's gonna be in there that can get in there permanently and work in his position. Gotta start looking at that on offense. What you gonna do to the running back core? I like Jamal Williams. Swift had a decent game against the Jags. He started to come back to his original self, how he was. You gonna have J-Mo in there. So you gotta start looking at this offense, and we're go back to the running back. Go look at the running backs. You got Craig Reynolds, you got Swift, you got Justin Jackson, you got Jamal. So you got 4 running backs, right? All of them pretty capable. Jamal Williams leading NFL touchdowns. I think you keep him. He's getting up there in age though. He's 27. He's starting to get over that other side of his prime. So you keep him. You got to figure out what you're gonna do with Swift. I think it's time to pay him. What you gonna, what I'm saying? So what you gonna do? You gonna cut him before you have to pay him? The way this offense is running, and this is not because how people get emotional about players. This is talking about from a business standpoint. From a business standpoint, the offense running pretty well when Swift wasn't in there. Is Swift a great back? Yes. Is Swift an elite back? Yes, he is. When healthy, he's one of the best in the league to me because he catch out the backfield. He can make you miss. Great running back. But at the same time, the NFL is a business, and the running back is on after 6 years. They start to go down. 6-year life shelf life. So you look at it from this standpoint. Was it he on his 4th year now? 4th or 5th year? I can't remember. So whichever, I can't remember. I haven't looked it up. But if it's going, say if it's his 5th year option coming up, do you pay him or do you trade him, get picks, or possibly another player out of it? Say you get picks out of it. Somebody take him. Somebody wants him. You draft another running back, and keep the youth going. You got Jamal in there as a veteran presence. He could be your goal line guy. You got a real good rookie coming out, quick, fast. Look what Breece Hall did for the Jets before he got hurt. He was in the question for. He was in the running for Rookie of the Year. Breece Hall looked good. Look at a man down in Houston, Damian Pierce out of Florida. Beast. With this line, you get a running back like that, you looking good. I know, because I've heard. I think Moby said, if I'm not mistaken, he was talking about that DeAndre Swift is our best player on offense. That's fine. But I'm talking about from a business standpoint and running back in a running back position with a 6-year shelf life. What do you do? I'm not saying the Lions should trade him. I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there as it's an option to look at. As a building a great team, as draft picks is king, especially if you know how to draft. I know this turned into a long video, so I'm gonna cut it short. But draft picks are king. Especially when you're trying to build. You can take draft picks and turn them into getting veteran players. You can turn draft picks and move up and get the player that you want. I think this year, like I said, this or next year, however you want to look at it, this draft coming up, this is the key draft to set the foundation for this team. So they need to make sure they do have many picks they can get. They got a few picks and hit on majority of those picks. And then personnel wise, look what they're gonna do. Figure out what they're gonna do personnel wise, and look at what you have. It's a lot of youth on this team. That's what I like about them. Because now whatever you build them for long term. But anyway, if you disagree, drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about it. If you agree, holla at me. I like chopping up about sports. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell your mama, tell your pa. We even on air in Arkansas, and I think that's it, man. Till next time. Peace.